the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, here on a Monday night. That means it's time to go Red Light Racing Scrambler Series style. The Xfinity cars are dusted off, the cover has been pulled back, and we are right here in the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, though, here on a Monday night, it is Muth up in the booth, and right alongside me, it is the trusty man himself. It is Al Smith Jr. Al, it's a long way from where we were last week with those Cup cars right here to Las Vegas.
Yeah, we got to take a cross-country trip. We're at New Hampshire Motor Speedway last Monday night. Tonight, we're down in Sin City. It's Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we're here tonight with the Xfinity cars, where these cars haven't been ran for the last 4 weeks, so the drivers getting used to these lower horsepower, lower downforce cars. And I'll tell you right now, so far in practice, your top 12 cars separated by less than a tenth of a second. They are all over on top of each other time-wise. We are expecting a very good race here tonight.
Yeah, Richard Murdoch, Cameron Hearn, Justin Gann, Max Terriel, and Tim Blum right now sit in your top 5 spots here on the practice charts. And talking about one of those drivers that sits there 5th, how about Tim Blum, Al? He is the hottest commodity on the red light circuit here as of late, winning 3 races in a row. And, well, he comes in here to Las Vegas, and he's going to roll the dice on the craps table.
He definitely is, and if you went down into the South Point Casino this afternoon, you saw Tim Blum. He had the biggest odds because he has been the hottest, or however that works. You would not make a lot of money if you choose Tim Blum here tonight. He comes in 2 wins in a row on different circuits. He won at Watkins Glen in the Cup car. Then he won at New Hampshire last week in the Cup car. Can he make it 3 wins on the season tonight in the Xfinity car here as they work around the Speedway? That driver is one of the hottest driver, and he's kind of peaking right at a good time. There's only 4 races, including tonight, until the cutoff for the chase.
That's right. Other drivers that have wins this season is Ethan Troutman, DJ Anderson. Those drivers all have locked themselves into the championship hunt. But before we go any further here in Las Vegas, we're going to be right back here with the live qualifying action from the Sin City here for the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof
Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The desert is coming alive here with qualifying action. 30 seconds already missing out of the qualifying action, but nobody has joined the ranks of qualifying just yet. As one driver, you see him, he's going to lock it up. It's going to be William Kirkman. He'll come to a complete stop. He'll get a reset here. He will not go onto the clock, but here is one of the drivers, Tony Strano, in the 50th anniversary RCR entry down machine for the Strano Brothers Racing Crew. Strano has had a couple of weeks back-to-back where he's had some really good finishes on the scene, and he's going to see if he can have another good start right here in Las Vegas.
William Kirk getting back up to speed after changing the tires, getting it after that lockdown off turn number 4. And Roger, good to have Kirk back out onto the circuit with us here at the Red Light Racing Series. One of the founding members of this league, and it's good to have him back after being taken away to serve our country. So we want to thank him for serving us and welcome him back here as he takes the green flag for his first time lap.
Well, it's always good to see some of those original members that always come back out here and run with the Red Light Series like they do here on a Monday night for the Scrambler Series here under the Red Light Racing banner. Kirkman, one of those guys that were here from the start, and like you said, Al, had to step out for the service, so our hats are off to him and all the other drivers out there tonight that have served our country who are in action here. Michael Bromley under that stable, and Brandon Minto, also DJ Anderson, who is out there on track. I had it for a second and then lost the Anderson Mobile, but he is one of the police officers, so our hats do go off to him, as right now he is considered essential, and he is on the front line of everything that is happening here in the United States.
Tim Blum going to go to the quick time with a 31.218. Finishing up his second lap is the number 86, James Skelton with his Carolina Elite Real Estate car, and he'll slot into your number 2 spot. And he wanted to send out a huge thank you and a hello to the Parish Group family for all that they do with the Carolina Elite Real Estate. And he'll slot in number 2, but Tim Blum picking up right where he picked up or left off last week in New Hampshire.
Yeah, another one of those drivers out there this week with brand new colors here in Las Vegas. It's the driver of the 01. It's the Adventure in Pixels machine driven by Richard Murdoch. The Ironbird Bruco, unfortunately, no longer on the 01 as they had hit tough times through the whole pandemic going around the world. So they unfortunately had to close the doors on the Ironbird Bruco. And now it's all about the Adventure in Pixels machine. Right now, Murdoch will come off turn number 4. He will finish his first timed lap. Where will he be slotted in at, as we have a new quick time out there, I believe, Al?
Yeah, new quick time for the fall. Now another new quick time to 30 Justin Gann. He goes to the number 1 spot, and he'll actually tie with the 18 James Heater, who ran identical lap time, but it'll be Justin Gann in that 30, but a new driver to the league is going to slot in 3rd. That's the 46 of Richard Regan Jr., with the butt kicker sponsor on that automobile. So the new guy in here, Cameron Hearn's going to slot into 3rd. Right now, your top 12 cars separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Nathan Maurer sits 13th, 1/10 of a second off of the pole. Now James Heater will put the heat on, and he'll go to your top spot. New quick time, 31.132.
That is absolute moving, and look who's second. It's the Storm from the north of Max Terriol. Andy Lee is sitting there 3rd. Boy, those are some quick drivers. Andy Lee last week had his 25, starting 2nd, and it'll be another good qualifying attempt here for Andy Lee. We're good to see Andy Lee back-to-back races here on Monday night. The only other driver that is really out there on track, it's the Barstool Sports number 20 of Brandon Minto. He's going to pull it off track now. Al, he probably had to go drink one of those Miller Lights real quick.
It's a good possibility. Maybe he'll sit up on top of the bar stool. But it'll be Theriot on his second lap. Will not be quicker with just 15 seconds left on the clock. So James Heater at number 18 is going to be on your provisional pole right now, as anybody else can knock him off here in the last closing seconds of qualifying.
Yeah, no other driver out there, so it looks like Betzel, Potter, O'Brien, Souza, and Rothrock will all tag the rear of the field here tonight at Las Vegas, as qualifying officially in the books here for this round. That means coming up here in just a couple moments as these drivers start to take to the grid for the first time here tonight, we are going to go racing here in Sin City. Al, I hope you are ready because these boys are about to turn them loose. 30, I believe it was 34 drivers. I could be mistaken. I didn't quite take my shoes off to count exactly how many were here in Las Vegas tonight. But either way, it's going to be a good show for a lot of these drivers. Let's take you through your starting lineup here tonight. Brought to us by Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. That is the wrong qualifying lineup, but let's get the right one for all you race fans so you can find where your favorite driver. There it is, Max and James on the front row. It'll be James Heater in P number 1 with Max Terriot there in second. Second row here tonight, it'll be the 25 of Andy Lee, and it'll be Justin Gann out of the Gann Motorsports Group. Check them out over on Facebook. They are streaming right now the in-car footage there of the driver of that 30. Catch all that action there, or right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Row number 3, it'll be the 35 of Cameron Hearn, and it is a Bruzy Racewear machine. And then it's the newcomer, the 946 Butt Kicker machine, piloted by the driver of Richard Reagan out of the Northeast. He will start there in row number 3. Row number 4, it'll be the man driving the adventure in Pixels 01 of Richard Murdoch and the Classics Hot Sauce number 10 of Tim Blum. Row number 5, it'll be the Carolina Elite Real Estate Group, James Skelton in the 86. Then it's going to be the 88 of Sean Butler in his Hellman's machine.
Starting on the inside of row number 6 will be the 62 Haas CNC. Bardet's Ethan Troutman is outside the Fram Autowear, number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. Starting on the inside of row number 7 will be the 33 of Eric Johnson. His dancing partner will be the 43 of Joe Strano. Nathan Maurer will start 15th on the inside of row number 8 to his outside, the 51 of DJ Anderson. The number 2 of Joshua Buckley will start 17th to the outside of him, Ryan Oldani. And rounding out row number 10 in the 19th slot will be the 940 of Josiah Millen, and his craps table partner, the 3 of Tony Strano.
Starting in row number 11 here tonight, 2 teammates out of the Mohica Esports Group. It's going to be the 948 of Michael Bromley, sponsored by Draft Top, and the old shed of Brandon Massey. Row number 12, it'll be Lee Bornage and Cody Levitt out of Las Vegas. Row 13, it'll be the original founder of William Kirk and Ira Kohlhaas. Row 14, Robert Dudley and Brandon Minto. Row 15, it'll be the Topton, Pennsylvania driver, the 913 of Donald Bennett, and the 4 of Kyle Souza. Lee Betzel in row 16th, and Christopher Rothrock, his dancing partner tonight. Starting shotgun to the field, Bruce Potter and Kevin O'Brien. Al, we're ready to go racing here in Las Vegas.
And in honor of May 4th, we got the solo flagman, Han, up in the flag stand. Is Obi-Wan down pit road in the pace car. Green flag is ready to fly, and we are underway here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 90 laps of action for the Red Light Scrambler Series.
A good start by everybody as they come up through the 4-speed gearboxes here with the Xfinity car for the first time in 5 weeks. Everybody looks like they were able to slam gears, and it's going to be James Heater out of turn number 2 taking the lead, but here comes the storm blowing in down the back straightaway. It's the man from Canada, Max Terriot. He is all over the back bumper of James Heater, and they will go single file into turn number 3. Coming out of 4 for the first time here tonight, it'll be James Heater in the Z-Line Toyota Supra leading the way. The battle right now for the 4th position. Here comes the 30 of Justin Gann as Cameron Hearn down to the bottom.
Hearn trying to take a peek to the inside. They'll get back in line, side-by-side battle back here between the 0-1 of Murdoch and the 10 of Blum as they work side-by-side off turn number 2 and work down the Niels straightaway. The Nellis straightaway down here. Everybody in the top 15 starting a single file out here. And we were talking earlier, Roger, they can go about 25 to 30 laps on a tank of fuel before we come down pit road. So we do know if it goes green, it is going to come down to 2, maybe 3 stops to make it here on it as we got a battle for second. Again, going to take a look to the inside of the 25 of Andy Lee off turn number 2.
Yeah, it's not going to work for the driver of the 30, and he's going to slip up off turn number 4. Here comes Max Terriot now to the inside of James Heater. Will he be able to make the pass this time out of turn number 4? He has the preferred line down on the bottom lane, but will that outside lane, you know it carries a lot of momentum here at Las Vegas, but it is not going to be good enough. Max Terriot is going to lead this lap here. Lap number 4. lap number 3 going to be led by the 42. So it's 2 laps by Heater, and then 1 lap last time by Max Terriel. Now Heater is stuck to the outside. Here comes Andy Lee in the Dirty Mo Radio number 25, but it looks like Heater's going to be able to hold the position into turn 3 as he actually swings high. Here comes Andy Lee once again to the bottom.
Lee working the bottom right down in the white line. There is no out of bounds this week here at the Las Vegas Super Speedway. They work down the front stretch side by side for your number 2, Cameron Hearn in that 35. Trying to figure out which line to go with is now Regan Jr. tries to slide underneath him. The Abruzzi car will slam the door shut off of turn number 2. Still side by side for that third spot down the Nellis straightaway.
As they come storming back down that straightaway, the battle now once again for third as it is almost 3 wide. It is going to be 3 wide. Here comes the 946, the butt kicker 46 of Junior. He's going to swing to the inside. He's going to get Gann out of turn 4. Now he'll pull side by side at the start-finish line. He is looking to make his presence known here in the early stages of this one in Las Vegas. He will take over the 4th position as Heater has been stuck to the outside, and there is just no hole for him to fall back into line.
No, he's kind of just been stuck out there in no man's land. He is keeping pace but not able to get back in line. Regan Jr. going to get by him. Now here comes Gannon at number 30. Murdoch is right in line with that 0-1 as they come off a turn number 4. The Heater might be able to get back in line, but he'll choose to stay on the outside. Side-by-side battle back here between Blum and Skelton. Skelton on the move early in that Carolina Real Estate's number 86 as they work. He got by Blum. Now side-by-side behind him is the 31 of Trevarthen and Ethan Troutman, who's starting to close in on the top 15.
Yeah, I think there's a Troutman fan out there somewhere, Al. If you look out into the chat watching tonight here from Las Vegas, somebody's stating that Troutman won in his rookie year. The win that we always forget when we look back through the stats, but Troutman, last year's winner, we came here with the Cup car. Will he be able to repeat, though, with the Xfinity car? We shall see. I don't know if we can really trust the fan out there tuning in on the YouTube side of things, but we're giving it a shot. We're trusting here for once. But Al, what do you say? This party has already started and we're a little bit behind.
Right now, Troutman trying to work underneath the 31 of Trevarthen. Trevarthen's going to slam the door off to the corner number 4. They'll single file out and then work there right there behind him is Strano in that 43 car. And Nathan Maurer starting to close in on the back side of Strano. Everybody's single file so far up top. Playing nice is now Max Stereo has opened up to a 2.5 tenths of a lead over your second place runner Andy Lee. Skelton takes the peak down low, but they're back. It is a 946 draft top machine of Michael Bromley. He was taking a look underneath the 11 of Leo Bondage.
Yeah, Leo Bordage back there actually in that Pepsi Supra machine. Always flying with one of those Pepsi and Pepsi throwback, Pepsi Cola entries. And tonight, it's the good old red, white, and blue throwback Pepsi Cola machine as the draft top machine of Michael Bromley did get around him. Now they are working upon, I believe that is the Ryan O'Danny, the slice of the 80s, 98 Ford Mustang. That driver, I'm looking at it now, he was into the outside wall. I got a report just a second ago that he was up probably down onto the apron sideways with the draft top machine. He's able to hang on to it, but O'Danny, we were talking about that damage out of turn number 2 about 5-6 laps ago now. He got up into that outside wall and that crinkled up that right front fender. How much damage do you think is done to that? You can see the crinkle, but how much aerodynamically challenged is going to be the slice of the 80s?
I think he's going to lose a little bit of a right front downforce on that car, but it doesn't look like it's hampering him too bad. He sits there behind the number 2 of Joshua Buckley as they work off of turn number 4, and so it's definitely going to hurt his advancement, but I don't know how bad it's going to be. He'll get to come down pit road. They'll be able to pull that fender out a little bit, so hopefully the O'Danny number 98 pit crew will get it back under work. Right now, it looks like number 3 is Strano's trying to take a peek underneath Bordage, but now he's got Bromley going to uncork the draft top on the back bumper off of turn number 2.
Right behind them a little bit, though, is the driver of the old shed out of Ohio. It's Brandon Massey. Al, I don't know about you, but the old shed goes live every Friday night on Facebook, and I know I sure as heck tuned in, and I actually just got my little doggy some new toys the other day, and she absolutely loves them. She thinks she's a little bit bigger of a dog than she really is throwing those new toys around.
Well, it's nice that you treat your dog once in a while, Roger, but up front, Cameron Hearn has gotten around Andy Lee, and Regan Jr. now and Andy Lee battling it out. It looks like Regan Jr. has gotten around the 25 of Andy Lee as there are side-by-side battles. Caution is out on the speedway.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the Rothrock 84 machine. He went around, and I think it's Lee Betzel and maybe the Turn 3 Racing Network 913 of Donald Bennett maybe have a little bit of damage on that car. We'll take a peek back here in just a second when the trailer says we got the replay, but we made it about halfway into that run. Is it 4 tires when these guys do come down pit road now?
I think it's 4 tires and a full tank of gas, to be honest with you, and this definitely sets it up to be at least a 2 tire or 2 stop race from this point forward. It'll kind of cut this one in half. We did mention before it's about a 30 lap max on a fuel load, so these drivers will be able to come down, top off the fuel, change it, and the guys involved in that one. But it looks like our pole sitter James Heater has pulled the 18 behind pit wall, so troubles on the 18 of James Heater.
Not good for James Heater, but as we throw it back here on the replay, you already saw the 84 spinning. What happened to the Lee Betzel machine? That's where I believe this all kind of unfolds. Oh, Levitt goes up into the outside wall, and he tries to hang it there. And I think Levitt may have saved the car, but Rothrock and Betzel both split him, and both of them are going to get the worst of it as Levitt's able to just kind of mosey all back through. We're going to go throw it back just a little bit farther and be able to check, as for some reason it keeps wanting to show us that beautiful Carolina Realtree machine. So we will see where Cody Levitt is. As you see, he's into the outside wall, and he was able to just bounce it off the wall and go back up and kiss it again just a little bit, and it was able to keep on ticking. So Rothrock with heavy damage along with Betzel, and actually Betzel has smoke bellowing out of the back of that one, Al. It's going to be a long night for Lee Betzel.
Yeah, not the night that he was looking to have. It looks like Levitt not too terribly torn up with that Levitt machinery number car there. So, but some pit road mishap for the current race leader, the old Shed 965 of Brandon Massey missed his pit stall, and the 9 of William Kirk also as well. So they're going to have to come down, and that'll give Theriot back your race lead as they hit pit road. So we saw earlier in this season how pit road mishaps put you in some compromised positions. We'll have to see how this will fare out for the old Shed of Brandon Massey as he hits his stop here. But just a tough break, but the good news is it's early on, only 15 laps into this 90-lap main event.
And only 2 leaders here tonight. As you see, Max Theriot will take back over the race lead here. He has led 13 laps tonight. James Heater has led 2, and now Heater being out of the event, it looks like Heater may have dropped connection here with the iRacing server, so that is not good for James Heater. But if I remember right, Al, he was the winner back at Talladega by circumstances, so he really doesn't have to worry about this race if his internet did drop out. He is locked into the championship when we get there in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he won at the Talladega Super Speedway, a race number 1 that kicked off with an amazing truck race. And speaking of the trucks, next week we're going back tailgating.
It's going to be back across the country we go, but let's not talk about that too much just yet, because we are here in Sin City. Al, I don't know if you've ever been to Las Vegas, but these boys were cruising up and down their strip just a little bit ago over there at the South Point Casino doing a little bit of burnouts, and a lot of these guys actually tore a lot of the fenders off these cars.
Well, luckily that was a show car, but they did their job. Look at the fans in the stands. This place is packed to the hill. They came to see some great racing put on by the Red Light Scrambler series, and so far not being disappointed. A lot of 2, 3 wide action, and I don't think that is done as the pace car lights have gone out, and Theriot's going to choose the inside of this one with now the outside Cameron Hearn going to restart in the number 2 spot with that Abruzzi Wares number 35. And how about that Neonism Games butt kicker number 46? That is Richard Regan Jr. First start with the series here tonight. He finds himself in a podium position on this restart. Andy Lee sitting there in the 4th spot, and Justin Gann in that number 30 car rounding out your top 5.
Al, can you tell me who's driving the pace car again here tonight in Las Vegas?
That's Obi Wander.
Obi Wander. I wonder if he wandered his way onto the switch and turned the lights out on that Mustang, or if they just kind of broke here.
He forced them out.
I see what you did there. May the 4th, he forced... You're a pretty clever guy up there, Al. You are a very clever guy.
I just hope he wanders down the pit road right here as we come through turns 3 and 4, going back green flag racing.
That's right, as the iRacing pace car lights are off, it's going to be Max Terriot, Cameron Hearn. It's going to be the butt kicker rookie of Regan back there in 3rd. Then it's Andy Lee, Justin Gann, and then that is none other than the lunch lady of Richard Murdoch as the iRacing pace car is away. The green flag is officially waving by our famous flagman here tonight at Las Vegas. And we are all coming back up through the gear. Still 33 drivers on the track, 30 of them on the lead lap.
Side by side down at turn number 1, it'll be Cameron Hearn trying to work the outside. He'll get to the outside of Therio off of turn number 2, but Therio will clear him. He'll fall into your number 2 spot. He'll try to charge the outside. He'll slam the door shut on Regan down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Andy Lee right on the back bumper. They're side by side for 5th. Murdoch working the outside again, almost into the fence, and it'll put lap number 18 on the board. Therio is your race leader.
So Max Terriot able to hold the lead here on the first restart here of the night, but he's got the hornet's nest just breathing down his neck. Cameron Hearn, Regan is right there, Andy Lee, Richard Murdoch, and they are in a battle with Justin Gann. The Davey machine going to go back up there, and he will now slot in front of the 88 of Sean Butler, who has Tim Blum down to the inside. The hottest thing since sliced bread here. Tim Blum is in the 8th position, but he would really like to get 7th. Right now, though, with Sean Butler to his outside. Butler is able to hang on with those 4 fresh tires. The question being, though, how long will he be able to hang on? Just out in front of our leaders, I think it is the James Skelton machine about to go a lap down.
Yeah, Skelton just coming off of pit road as he'll work to the inside. Your race leaders are going to have to work around the outside of it. 46 of Regan will be the next car there. So Skelton doing a good job holding his line, being predictable, which is all he can do at this moment. It is early on. If we do get another yellow rag flying, he'll get the lucky dog right now as he's the first car 1 lap down. But he's going to mix up here in the leaders, trying to test out, see if that car was damaged out and how bad it was damaged in that last yellow flag that we had. Is now it looks like the 35 of Cameron Hearn. They'll take a peek down low, but nothing doing this time in the turn number 3.
Yeah, your front 3-run single file. Andy Lee still having a little bit of trouble getting around this 86 machine here of Skelton. Skelton right in front of his teammate, though, Richard Murdoch. How hard will he battle Murdoch? We're going to see as they come down here into the corner. And it is going to be the Adventure by Pixel machine having to go to the outside. Here comes, though, Cameron Hearn off of turn number 2. He was peeking for the moment to try and get around Max Terriot, but he did not have the run that time out of turn 2. He thought about doing it, didn't have the run, and they go back single file. You got to go all the way back to the 14th position because it's the battle between the Safe Light Auto Glass number 2 of Josh Buckley. Contact with him and Michael Bromley. There goes Buckley through the glass. He's taken not the safe route. He's taken a scenic route here in Las Vegas. A little bit off the strip.
Able to get back onto the racetrack right there in front of the 59 of Bruce Potter. It's actually the 24 Hefty car. That's like the Eric McClure throwback scheme on that number 59, the 24, however you want to look at it. But a nice save by both of those drivers not to tear up the race car. It is very hard to keep control once you get into the grass, especially at the speeds that they're carrying. So a lot of track position lost for both those drivers, but they're able to get back on track. No damage to those cars, but a long way to go for those drivers as they have fallen back to the 24th and 28th spot, respectfully.
As they're almost 3 wide back here, Josh Buckley reliving some of the glory days as he runs side by side now with the number 9 of Kirk, but it looks like the 2 will get the upper hand for the time being. Bruce Potter's going to go up, and he's going to test that way high line, 3rd lane here tonight. O'Donnell Bennett having a little troubles in the 913. He was sideways that time out of turn number 4. They checked up the man that's running the Green Forest Tree Supply, number 43 here tonight of Joe Strano. Strano had to check up, and now Bennett, they're going to go 3 wide again. Here comes the slice of the 80s of Ryan O'Danny. Kirk's going to be in the middle, and it's going to put Potter way to the high side.
That is a gaggle of cars back here. duking it out here for the fans on Turn 3 Racing Network and at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As they work off the corner, they're going to settle it back down to at least 2 wide. It is still O'Danny and Potter running side by side off of turn number 4 through the stripe. And right behind them, they're running side by side as well. It looks like the 184 of Kevin O'Brien has gotten to the outside Armco barrier. They'll keep it going in the right direction, but lost a little bit of momentum as they come off turn number 2.
Back up front, though, it is still the 42 of Max Terrill. And as we look off the back here of the 42 of Max leading this, it's still Hearn sitting there in the 35 Toyota Supra. And then it's the newcomer, the Ford Mustang Neonism. Butt kicker Ford Mustang of Regan back there. He runs right now in that 3rd position. You see Max Terrill up the track a little bit higher than Cameron Hearn. I wonder if that's allowing Terrill to keep the lead that he has built up. This time going down into 3. Here comes Max. He goes right down to the white line. This time out of 4, he'll have about a car length lead over Cameron Hearn.
Battle picking up for your 8th and 9th spot is Blum. Has lost the position to the 88 of Butler. Now he's under fire from the 31 of Trevarthen, and that Fram filters number 31. The outside line starting to work a little bit. He'll draw even off of turn number 2. Blum stuck to the inside, has to keep it down low. The momentum will draw him even as they hit turn number 3. It'll be Trevarthen on the outside. He'll have a nose out in front of Blum, and this is a lot of dirty mode number 33 of Eric Johnson. The Royal and them in, and behind them is DJ Anderson in that Valvoline 51.
That's your top 11 drivers right now, as Blum still working to the inside here of the 31 Fram of Michael Trevarthen. Not able to get around it, and I think there might be just a little damage on that Fram filters machine, or maybe it's the glare off the camera angle that we have. iRacing updating the templates here for these cars a couple of weeks ago, and sometimes the drivers' paint schemes that they updated or uploaded onto trading paints just do not quite match yet, as I believe that's exactly what it is on the Fram number 31 of Michael Trevarthen. The front fender just doesn't quite line the orange, and that shows us a little bit of damage, quote-unquote. But right now, Trevarthen will fall down to the 9th position as Blum takes over 8th. A couple of moments ago, I did notice this machine here, the 940, running in the 19th position now as Brandon Massey goes around him for the 18th spot. Josiah Millen, he was up into the wall a couple laps ago coming out of turn number 2. The East Penn Manufacturing number 40 of Josiah Millen having some damage here in Las Vegas. That's going to hamper the performance of the 940, but out. You know, it might be bad news here in Las Vegas for Josiah Millen, but I heard that he got the phone call. He's becoming essential again, going back to work next week.
That's good. I think we're starting to hear that. I know Brandon Massey also got the phone call, so he was very happy. The driver of that 940-65 of the old shed is Skeleton, really mixing it up with your race leaders up here as he works underneath the 35 of Cameron Hearn as he's trying to get himself back. He is 3 laps behind right now. If he can get by Max Terrill, he'll be 2 laps down. But he is really mixing it up with your race leaders as it looks like the 35 of Hearn has just kind of rolled over and let him go, saying if you're that much quicker. Remember, he came off the pit road a little bit after your race leaders once the green flag come out on this run as we work lap number 17 since that last. So we're about halfway through this fuel run for these guys, and Cameron Hearn it runs in your number 2 spot. Max Terrill now enjoying a 0.3 of a second lead, but he's going to have Skeleton all over the back bumper of him very soon. Will Terrill just let him go, or will they race it out?
Yeah, I think probably if you're Max Terrill, you try and pull over before you hit the corner, and you allow that 86 to just go on by. Terrill going to hang it out just a little bit. Battle back here between the 88 of Butler and the 90 of Gann here once again. I say the 90, but it was actually the 930 last year, and then I watched him earlier this week, and it was the 90. It's only the 30 here on Monday night. The 30 of Gann running in that 6th position. Butler has the inside advantage right now as they go down into turn number 1 and 2. Also, there's a battle. Here it comes, that 946 Neonism butt kicker Ford Mustang out of turn 2. He's got the inside advantage here over Cameron Hearn. Will Regan be able to complete the pass this time into turn number 3?
Side by side, they go down in the corner. They'll wheel the wheel off of turn number 4. They advantage to Regan, but the momentum on the outside is going to bring Cameron Hearn right back into it. Andy Lee wants to come and play with his Dirty Mo radio as he's trying to figure out which line is going to have the advantage. And behind them is the 0-1 of Murdoch, but they're still side by side. As this all happened in 1 second behind your race leader, is now Skelton will take a peek underneath your race leader down the back stretch, but all eyes are on this battle for second place. Richard Regan now going to have Andy Lee to his outside, as now Cameron Hearn has gotten back around Regan mounting the charge back on the inside.
So it looks like Skelton is going to be able to work to the inside here on Theriault, but he's not going to be able to get the lap back at the line this time. He's still shown 3 laps down. Right now, if I was Max Theriault, I would just go ahead and let the driver of that 86 go ahead. Is almost contact that time out of turn number 2. Hard racing by the Skeleton machine and the 42 of Max Theriault. That Carolina Elite Realtree car really wants his lap back now. That 42 of Theriault's just going to go ahead and let the 86 go on by. He said, I'll ride in the wake of that car. Everybody has single filed out as we watch that battle. Cameron Hearn was able to hold on to that 3rd position. Regan going to go back there into the 3rd spot. Andy Lee is 4th. Richard Murdoch is sitting there 5th. Sean Butler is 6th. Tim Blum is running right now the Classics Hot Sauce machine in 7th, but he is under fire by the 30 of Justin Gann. Then it's Eric Johnson and DJ Anderson rounding out the top 10 currently here on lap 37.
Okay, your first car outside the top 10 is the 71 of Maurer, and he's starting to reel in on the back bumper, that Valvoline 51 of Anderson, as they battle it out between Anderson and Eric Johnson in that 33, as they work down across the stripe, putting lap 37 up on the board. So they are starting to get into a rhythm. Your race leader now has 9/10 of a second over Cameron Hearn, and then Regan 1 second back from your race leader. So everything's starting to settle out down out front, but Andy Lee starting to put the pressure to the back bumper, that 46 of Regan's. They work through turns 3 and 4.
Did you say things, Al, are starting to settle down here in Las Vegas?
Oh, I was just trying to fib a little bit. I figured, you know what you do at Sin City? You gotta, sin a little bit.
Well, I don't know anything about that, Al. Last time I was in Las Vegas, I was the kindest little Northeast boy out of my elements. They could definitely tell, and they were handing me those cards down there on the strip all night long. Andy Lee going to smack the wall, though, down the back straightaway. He was following in the wake of that butt-kicker Ford Mustang. Andy Lee going to slap the wall, and that's going to lose ground to the 3rd-place machine. Andy Lee now going to fall back into the clutches here of Richard Murdoch in the Adventure in Pixels machine. He will look to the outside down into turn number 1 as he's going to get the door slammed. Andy Lee slams the door on the entry into turn number 1, but Murdoch is going to stay high and see if he can wind up the ponies on that Camaro here back down the back straightaway. Cameron Hearn has started to pull away from the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place drivers on track.
Side-by-side battle. Murdoch going to throw it down in the turn number 3 on the outside. He's up there in the 2nd lane. He'll get the advantages now. Andy Lee's going to take the dirty mode number 25 and come down the pit road. He'll get down to and Nathan Maurer in that 71. Also a handful of drivers coming down pit road as we are about 25 laps into this run. So this is right on schedule for a pit stop. Lap 40 on the books, 50 laps to go. And we'll have at least one more stop after this for these drivers as they work around down pit road and hit their box.
Yeah, will your leader of Max Theriault peel down pit road this time? He will not. Who will be the next one? I believe it might be Richard Murdoch. He is going to come down pit road here. He's going to bring Sean Butler. Butler going to race down pit road, and we're going to have to see if Sean Butler was able to get that Hellman's 88 car down to pit road speed here at Las Vegas. He was definitely gambling there on that pit road entry. It looks like the ALS number 49 of Robert Dudley's also down pit road. William Kirk is down pit road. The Joe Strano Green Forest Tree Supply down pit road with his Camaro, and it looks like Tony Strano also going to come down pit road. Donald Bennett in the Turn 3 Racing Network 913 is down pit road, and he's got some damage on that car, but he'll return to the racing surface. But once again, lap 42 in the books, and it goes to the 42 of Theriault.
Still staying on. He was last down pit road 28 laps ago. We expect him anytime now as he's gotten back around the 86 of Skelton as Donald Bennett gets up to speed in the Turn 3 Racing Network 913. Down completing his pit stops. So we'll see this time by if Theriault will come down pit road. It looks like he is slowing, and he'll make his way down to that 42. So your race leader headed down pit road on lap 43.
Couple drivers still staying out with Max Theriault. Cameron Hearn going to come down pit road. Tim Blum is also going to join them, and I believe it's Eric Johnson down on pit road. Ira Kohlhaas also Actually, Kohlhaas looks like he is going to stay out here, so a couple drivers into the green flag pit cycle. Gonna stretch the fuel mileage. Regan making his first start here with the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series on Monday night. A brand new driver, but he is not afraid to stretch it. He is a strategy worker himself. He gets credited with one lap led here tonight, and he's going to be hard on the binders. He's going to lock him up sideways a little bit coming into pit road. He'll bring the 30 of Justin Gann, DJ Anderson, and Ethan Troutman all down pit road along with him. Just a couple more drivers. It looks like Kyle Souza going to stay out here. He will take over the lead, and he will not be credited with that lap led, as it looks like Regan was able to beat him to the line.
Regan will hit his mark, so Crew works around to the right side of it, goes up on that number 46 on pit road, but Kyle Souza now taking over your race lead as he'll work down the backstretch. Is he going to come to pit road this time off of turn number 4? It looks like he's going to stay out for one more lap. Nope, just kidding. He is coming down pit road.
Yeah, very aggressive entry for the driver of the number 4. Souza, one of those drivers that also likes to play in the late model series. The super late model driver of Kyle Souza will now come to the attention here at Las Vegas to his pit box. It's the pink sign on pit road. He hits it. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for the Columbia number 4 here tonight at Las Vegas, and I think that's going to turn things over, Al. I believe it's going to be Andy Lee being shown as he comes off turn 4 with his Supra. He will now be the new leader here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Andy Lee was our first driver down pit road, led the rash green flag stops. He's got Sean Butler and Hellman's number 88 all over the back bumper of him. Those two drivers came in down pit road as they go around the 29 Pong Coolers entry of Ira Kohlhaas. So it is Andy Lee, Sean Butler, and Cameron Hearn, your top 3 after pit cycle.
Sideways is going to be the 35 of Cameron Hearn. Max Terriel going to try and shoot the gap. More contact between Murdoch, Hearn, and 4 wide. 4 wide. Here comes Regan in the 46 machine. The classic hot sauce number 10 of Tim Blum also going to come through with them. Boy, what a gaggle that was that time out of turn 4. Al, I'm told we do have a replay of this from over top of this Cameron Hearn entry here tonight. Let's go and watch Cameron Hearn and Richard Murdoch. What happens out of turn number 4? This is them coming down the back straightaway. You see the 01, the Adventure in Pixel's machine go to the inside. Oh, Hearn turns into turn 3 before Murdoch was ready. Contact, they both gather it up. Here comes the 42. He tries to shoot the gap, and then watch. Here comes the 946. He's going to shoot the gap. Him and Tim Blum keep the foot in it, and they will gain positions here as we work lap 48 tonight.
Back down the backstretch, and Sean Butler has taken over the race lead from Andy Lee. So Lee, remember, it got into that wall, wondering how much of that damage is affecting the overall speed on that Dirty Mo Radio number 25 is now. Butler showing the way over Regan Jr., and he's got Cameron Hearn to the back bumper as they work battle out for your 3rd position. Tim Blum inside the top 5 for the first time tonight. Richard Murdoch right there as well. So the Theriot came in as your race leader during pit cycles, comes out 7th, and we just saw had a little bit of evasive driving they have to do to keep that all 4 fenders on that race car.
Yeah, Al, I'm looking at it. It looks like all 4 fenders are pretty much clean on the 42 of Max Terriel, but the question that's probably on everybody's mind as I see the pit crew scramble is how much damage was done to the tires as he took that big slide there out of turn 4. Murdoch did lift and allowed the 42 to catch that car, so it was good driving, good car control by both drivers, but how much tire life is going to be off that 42, and is there a possible tire rub here tonight in iRacing?
There's a good possibility of that. This track very abrasive on your tires. Is right now they are running their fastest laps of the race currently as they work around on these fresh Goodyear Racing Eagle tires, but they do fall off over a 1.5 here during a run as we are now past the halfway point as they work through turns 1 and 2. It is Sean Butler up to a 1 second lead since getting around Andy Lee. But Cameron Hearn starting to put the pressure to the 46 of Regan as they work down into turn number 3.
Yeah, right now running in that 3rd spot is that Ford Mustang butt kicker of Regan, then Hearn and his Toyota Supra of Bruzy Racewear number 35, and then it's Tim Blum in his Camaro with his Classics hot sauce machine. So 3 different manufacturers here, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, nose to tail. Out front it is still the Hellman's 88 of Sean Butler. Nothing has changed out front here. looking to see where your closest battle is on track, and it's right here. It's the driver of the old shed, the 965 of Brandon Massey. He tried to go to the outside on Cameron Hearn in his Ford Mustang, wasn't able to get it, and look who's right behind these two just lurking in the background. It's the ALS Association, number 49 of Robert Dudley. He's bringing that Toyota into the battle, so it's another three manufacturer battle back here for 12th, 13th, and 14th, and right behind them, there is the Haas CNC machine of Ethan Troutman and the Barstool Sports entry here tonight of Brandon Minto. So this group of cars that was 2 is now 3, about to be actually 5 cars battling for that 12th position.
Yeah, the Super of Dudley going to try to make it 3 wide. He'll think better of that this time down the backstretch as Massey works to the inside of Trevarthen. That's the battle for your 13th and 12th position. It's a 5-car battle now. Troutman right to the back bumper of Dudley. He'll swing it to the outside. Minto trying to figure out which line to go with as he's the 5th car ready to go battling here into turn number 1. They'll be side by side, 2 by 2, through turns 1 and 2. Massey with the advantage over Trevarthen as they come down the Nellis straightaway.
Yeah, back down, it's 2 by 2 here. Massey to the inside, Trevarthen to the outside. Then it's Dudley and Troutman. Minto trailing, trying to find where he can put that Ford Mustang. He's going to pick the bottom lane here, as there's also another battle up here at the front. It looks like here comes Regan. He's going to go to the inside of Lee, and he is going to bring the Abruzzi number 35 here of Cameron Hearn along with him. Tim Blum lurking into the background also. They're trying to see if they can pick up that position. Andy Lee was the first driver down pit road. He is halfway into this run now, and with 36 laps to go, I think it might be fuel-saving mode here for Andy Lee.
Yeah, plus remember, he got the wall on the Nellis straightaways. He's going to get into Blum, and Blum hard into the fence. Yellow flag coming out. Andy Lee and Tim Blum making contact in the tri-oval, and the yellow flag safety crew is quickly on the scene to the 10 of Tim Blum, and that hot sauce bottle, I believe, is cracked wide open here in the infield.
Well, it may have been a little too hot for Tim Blum as it is smoking out the tail of that machine. Let's watch it back as the 10 of Blum going to make, or the 25 of Lee going to make contact with the 10 of Tim Blum here. That's going to put these drivers in their predicament to see how far they can stretch it on fuel. You see the 10 of Blum down there. Andy Lee thought he was cleared of the 10 and tries to go all the way down, and unfortunately it's just going to turn the 10 of Tim Blum down to the inside, and that might be a night ender. We will not see 4 wins in a row here for Tim Blum, so what a rough night in Las Vegas it is going to be now. Maybe a little bit of disappointing. He said last week he was thinking that he had a good shot here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, he was really looking forward to coming to Las Vegas in the Xfinity car. Has not won in this car this season, but has been fast every time we have gotten out with the Xfinity car in the Red Light Scrambler series. So a tough way to end as the smoke billows out the back side of that number 10. And I think the motor had just given up the ghost as he's going to slide into the inside straightaway wall and take the tow back in. He'll have to go to the infield care center, but unfortunate circumstances for the 10 of Tim Blum, as your race leader is the 88 of Sean Butler, and they're all coming down pit road here under this yellow.
So the 88 of Butler going to come to the attention of his pit crew. It's going to be 4 tires and filler up here. They will not be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel. I don't believe it's going to be a lot of fuel saving for a lot of these drivers. So everybody's going to try and pack her as full as they can on fuel. Everybody, 4 tires, nobody taking that 2-tire stop. It's going to be the race off pit road. Is it going to be the 88 of Sean Butler? Butler will win the race off pit road. Regan will come out running second. Then it'll be the 42 of Max Theriault, Cameron Hearn, Richard Murdoch, Eric Johnson, Nathan Maurer, and Justin Gann. 2 drivers staying out here on track. Going to be the 4 of Souza and the 184 of the Aussie of Kevin O'Brien.
Yeah, I like that paint scheme. O'Brien's running the Shell Pennzoil, kind of the same livery that they run down in the Australian V8 series. So good to see him up there. He's been just lurking in the backgrounds all race long, that Kevin O'Brien mobile, the 184. We'll see if he's saving anything here at super fast Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But second yellow flag out, the cause of with Andy Lee and Tim Blum. Bringing us under yellow is now Souza's going to bring down at Gen X Racing number 4 to the attention of his pit crew.
Yeah, it looks like O'Brien also going to come down pit road here with the 184. You know, O'Brien also, Al, we talked about it early on about how we saw the driver of the number 9 out there of William Kirk. Kevin O'Brien also falls into that same category. They were here from, well, call it pretty much the original cast and crew members with the Red Light Racing Series. And right now, William Kirk going to be running in the 15th spot with the Valvoline number 9 Ford Mustang here tonight. He's right ahead of Josh Buckley. So, I mean, seeing those two guys side by side and running nose to tail here tonight got to bring back a lot of memories from the early days. If I remember right, this would go all the way back to about 2015, I believe. 2014 when the series kind of became.
It's good to see the retention rate here for the series. I know some guys get pulled away for real life stuff, or like we had covered a lot of the racers here that are running of given their life on the line to keep us free and let us do this on a weekly basis, and we thank them for that. So, but here is the question of the night. We're going to come across stripe on lap 59 on the books. We're going to be right on that 30 lap window when we go back green flag racing. Do you come back down pit road and top off and try to fuel mileage it to the end of this race? Or are you going to have to split this last segment in half, assuming it goes green to the end?
Yeah, it's going to be a battle here as it looks like the 20 of Brandon Minto will come down pit road. He will try to top her off and then go the rest of the way here tonight on fuel. A couple of these other guys are going to play the strategy to see if they can just make it here. And they're going to roll the dice. One of the best drivers here tonight on fuel mileage is going to be Sean Butler. Last year we saw him win, I believe it was like 5 in a row or something, and 3 out of the 5 were all on fuel strategy. So we'll see if he can do it once again. He'll start on the front row here when we go back racing. It'll be with 30 laps to go.
30 laps to go, and we were told that it was a 30-lap window on a tank of fuel. But how much fuel can they be saving under this yellow flag? That is going to be, I think, the difference maker here of someone making it to the end, or we're going to see someone run out coming to the checkered flag. Is Obi Wander is going to take that Ford Mustang pace car down pit road, and we're ready to go back green flag racing. And Solo Han, our flagman of the night, is going to throw the green silk.
Al, I'd really like to know where you get a lot of these names from. I know it is May the 4th be with you, everybody that's tuning in here tonight. We do welcome you, by the way, into the Turn 3 Racing Network. But, Al, I got to know, do you have these written down next to you? Is this what you do all day?
I will not tell you my secrets, Roger.
Wow, Obi-Wan Kenobi has secrets. Oh, here we go again. But you know what? Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, so how about we do this, race fan? Let's turn it up here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. oh boy, look at the racing here for the lead. Sean Butler was under attack there by Regan in the 46, but right now Sean Butler took the power move back to the outside. Ow, you can tell it's within 30 laps to go and possibly trying to make everybody think they need to go faster than they need to, because these boys are throwing the haymakers here tonight at the MGM.
They definitely are. Now the 35 of Cameron Hearn all over the back bumper of Regan Jr. But that power move on the outside showed me something. The outside is there. Is now the 71 AC Pates, number 71 of Mauer. He got a little bit of the wall off turn number 4. That allows Troutman. Troutman now for the first time inside the top 10. He's behind the 30 of Justin Gann. As the top 6 are now single file, nose to tail, working on it. And Max Dario in that 42 rides in the 4th. So a nice recovery. Remember, during the green flag stops, he had fallen all the way back to the 8th position. So this yellow being very good to him, finding himself in the 4th. Now Regan starting to close back in on the 88 car of John Butler. And we are now within 25 laps to go in this 90-lap feature or main event.
When you stopped over at the MGM before heading here to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, what were the odds on a rookie coming in here tonight and stealing the show from the wily veterans of Theriault and Butler?
Well, I'm kicking myself in the you-know-what for not placing that bet, because I think I would have been paid pretty handsomely.
You would have probably been buying at least me a steak dinner here tonight, because you didn't buy me one from New Hampshire last night with that lobster, but, you know, not going to complain, but, you know, there's some good food joints here in Las Vegas.
I bought you a McNuggets before we got on the plane to come to Vegas.
I didn't even get the toy.
Well, no, you had to keep me occupied on the plane somehow.
You know what really keeps me occupied is the hard-nosed racing here right around, if I can find it correctly, I believe that is the 62 of Troutman. Him and Gann and Mauer are all throwing some pretty big haymakers here. As this time by, it'll be 22 laps here from Las Vegas. Sitting back there in 10th is that Robert Dudley, 49. He is coming closer to the front, and he is having a very good run here in Las Vegas tonight.
Yeah, he's been solidly moving up quietly through the field. And right behind him is the 965 of Brandon Massey. Massey had a very good outlook for his race here tonight as he works as now Troutman going to get the outside again off turn number 2 as a hot rocket down the Nellis straightaway. Down to the turn number 3, it'll be Troutman to the outside of Gann. Side by side to turns 3 and 4, and the battle for your race lead starting to heat up is now Regan is within the 10th of a second of your race leader.
Yeah, just about a half a car length gap between that Camaro of Butler and the Ford Mustang here of Regan, with only 21 laps to go, and the rookie battling the veteran. Regan may be a rookie here, listed as the 946 with the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series, but he is no rookie. I've seen him out there. He ran the Snowball Derby here on iRacing a couple months back. What was that? Back in December, actually, I believe it was, when that event was taking place, as he was actually a sub-driver at that time, and he qualified his machine, or that machine, into the show. Unfortunately, didn't come away with the results he really wanted to, but here tonight at Las Vegas, it could be a tide turner for the driver of the 946 out of the Legacy Esports Group.
He is putting the power to that, or the, well, let's just say he is squeezing the Hellman's bottle as hard as he can, trying to put the pressure on him to get around him, and he's got Cameron Hearn in that Abruzzi Racewear, number 35, all over the back bumper. Them, they're right there about 5 car lengths off the back bumper of this battle as they rage down in the turn number 1 and 2. They both go a little bit higher, but then you see the 46 kind of do that diamond move. He'll get right down to that white line, trying to get some fresh air out of the front of that Ford Mustang, help it turn off of the straightaway. Back there now, Dudley working underneath Mauer. That's the battle for your 9th position. Mauer and Dudley side by side in the turn 3.
Yeah, they battle back there for that position, but out. This battle for the front spot, it really makes you think. We went back racing with exactly 30 laps to go, I believe it was, on this stint. I'm looking at the math, 18 laps to go. Correction, they went racing with 32 if I remember right. But either way, can they make it?
It's going to be close. It all depends on how well they saved during the yellow flag. They were turning the car off, pushing the clutch in. And I'm going to say no, as now Butler's going to come down pit road, splitting this segment in half. He's going to have fresher tires and a full tank of fuel. Massey going to come down along with the 946 of Bromley with that draft top entry. He'll come down pit road. So these drivers are going to come down pit road. We'll see if it's going to be any tires or just a splash and go to get them to the end of this race.
Well, so pit cycle's going to start here with 17 laps to go. That's an interesting strategy. Will we see any of our other leaders to follow in suit down pit road? Your top four going to stay out. That will leave Gann. Gann's going to stay out. Dudley's going to stay out. So is Troutman. Here comes the 71 of Nathan Maurer. He'll come down pit road. So everything's starting to get cycled through here. And I'm noticing it looks like a lot of guys taking just fuel only and a lot of guys taking a two-tire stop here, Al. So the field is going to be split between staying out and trying to run the fuel out of the car and win it. You know, maybe just the splash and go. And a couple of them saying, give me two tires, I'll go out there and turn some faster laps.
Yeah, your race leader Regan now going to come down pit road in that 46 Neil Games number 46. He'll lock him up on the pit road. See if that hurts. Maybe they'll have to take tires since locking up the tires coming to pit road. Cameron Hearn will stay out there now, and Richard Murdoch rounding out your top three right now as they cycle around. So everybody coming down pit road, Regan's going to hit your stop. We'll see he comes around, and it looks like right sides will go on the butt kicker Neonism Games number 46. We'll see if they go around to the left side. No, just right side tires for the 46. He's down and away in 9.5 seconds.
Cameron Hearn going to come into the pits, and he was sideways with his Toyota Supra right in front of Max Theriault. Theriault had to hit the brakes and check up himself. They were both able to get it down to pit road speed, but I think they may have lost a little bit of ground. They also will bring Justin Gann down pit road. James Skelton also still running 2 laps down here tonight. He is back on the pit road, but now it turns the lead over here with 14 laps to go tonight. It's going to go over to the Adventure and Pixels number 01 of Richard Murdoch out of Somerville, South Carolina. He takes over the lead, and right behind him, he has the 88 of Sean Butler, a lap down right now with only 13 laps to go.
13 laps to go. Can that 0-1 car hold on or make it to the end of the race? He has got a 2.6 second lead, so he can definitely back the pace down a little bit. Doesn't need to race the 88 of Butler, as Butler's going to come off to him. But it does sound like he is cutting the engine or pushing the clutch in at least on corner entry, letting that car roll through the corner. So maybe Richard Murdoch going to try to stay out on the track now with just 11 laps to go.
And we ride on board here with the 01 of Richard Murdoch. You could hear it that time going into turn number 1. The engine was completely dead. Let's hear it into 3. Yeah, once again, RPM's going down. It hits 0. You hear him flip the switch. He dumps the clutch, and there goes the 46 of Regan. There goes the 33 of Eric Johnson. So a couple of guys getting around the 01 here of Murdoch, but he'll get 11 laps to go. I think we can easily tell what the strategy here is the rest of the way for the 01 of Richard Murdoch.
Yeah, right now you got DJ Anderson on the same schedule along with William Kirk in at number 9 car. We have the top 12 drivers that are staying out on the racetrack right now. So now less than a second, so Murdoch does not have to push it on the fuel strategy right now as he comes off of turn numbers 3 and 4. He'll get that with just 10 laps to go. Now second place has caught him. Will he have to get going, or is he going to let the 51 of Anderson go? It looks like he'll go by. Anderson going to take over your race lead. So maybe Murdoch going to try to stretch the fuel, hoping that Anderson will use what's in his fuel tank in that Toyota Supra as they work down the backstretch.
Yeah, and I'm getting race word that Cameron Hearn, the driver of the 35, unfortunately speeding on pit road, and he has actually jumped completely out of that car. He is going to eat some ice cream here, and he said, well, we're in Las Vegas, so that means I'm only going to do one thing other than eat the ice cream. I'm going to go party it up here tonight. So right now it looks like the driver of the 35, the Abruzzi Raceware 35 of Cameron Hearn, is done here tonight. Right now, running in the 31st position. That looks like where he will finish the night off.
DJ Anderson, your race leader. He was last on pit road 24 laps ago. This time, it'll be 8 laps to go at the stripe. Can he save enough fuel in that Valvoline-sponsored number 51. Your top two cars sponsored by Valvoline. Trying to make it a Valvoline sweep on the front. Murdoch still runs in your number 2 spot, or 3 spot.
Yeah, and running in fourth it is this Fram machine, and look at the gaggle he is in. He has the 2 of Buckley, the 948 draft top machine of Michael Bromley. He's got the 25 of Andy Lee and the 3 of Tony Strano, so he is in some heavy traffic with guys that are a lot faster right now because they have all come down pit road. They all have 4 fresh tires. Just behind him, it's the slice of the 80s of Ryan O'Danny. The question being, though, how much fuel is left in the slice of the 80s as he is very slow coming through corners 3 and 4. You see James Skelton really have to check up. Skelton gets a little bit sideways, actually. The rear end of that Carolina Elite Real Estate car getting sideways out of turn number 4. He was able to hang on to it. Right now, James Skelton still running back there into that 28th position. His friend Neil Basil out there watching also here tonight. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be the results that James Skelton would like, as we're going to get 6 laps to go here this time by for DJ Anderson. Can he go 6 more times around this 1.5-mile track in the desert of Las Vegas?
Anderson has a 1.6 second lead over Kirk. It runs in second. He has dropped his pace considerably, is now the 71 of Mauer will be the next car to go by the 51 of Anderson. He'll pull to the inside. He's got a lot of time and a lot of track position, as you can just barely see the number 9 going into turn number 3 now. Anderson working the bottom of the racetrack. He has slowed his pace down by over a second, trying to make it as we're going to get 5 laps to go, as Han Solo gives them 5 laps to go here at the Super Speedway of Las Vegas as they work through the corner. Does he have enough fuel? The gap now 1.8 seconds to William Kirk.
Trevarthen now going to take over that 3rd position in the Fram's Filter Ford Mustang. He gets around Richard Murdoch, so that's going to knock Murdoch into 4th. Is Murdoch, though, saving too much fuel here in this late going? He is about 7 to 9 miles an hour that time down the back straightaway, slower than your top time of DJ Anderson. Anderson, remember, was almost 2 seconds behind Murdoch at one point. As William Kirkman's going to come down pit road with his Valvoline machine, he says with 4 to go, that is far enough. We cannot stretch it any farther. But now DJ Anderson opens up over Murdoch, a 7.5 second gap. That is almost insurmountable unless something would happen to DJ Anderson or even Michael Trevarthen.
Yeah, the question is, can Anderson make it the distance? 3 more circuits to go as they work off of turn number 4 at the stripe. Anderson now a 6-second lead, so 1 second off. Trevarthen's taken off. Murdoch runs in your number 3 spot. Brandon Minto in the 4th, and Cody Levitt in that Levitt Machinery number 938. Rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, how excited do you think it would be for the Las Vegas native of Cody Levitt driving the 938 to win at his home track? It's one of the tracks that Levitt has never been able to win at, and he is saving fuel like crazy. That time by out of turn number 2, he was only down to about 140 miles an hour as your leader is right at 185 as he got the popsicle sticks in the air from Al's favorite friend off the top of the flag stand.
2 more seconds off of turn number 2. It'll be Anderson to the inside of the racetrack. He'll let Andy Lee in that 25 go around the outside. Next car in line to get by will be the 948 draft top entry of Bromley. These drivers are all working around your race leader. 6 seconds now on the 31 of Trevarthen. Anderson has with the white silk is flying. Final trip around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Can the essential worker win here in the Sin City? The city that, I mean, we're going to mix a bunch of cities here, but it's the city that never sleeps, and if DJ Anderson can pull this one off, he will not sleep. Rothrock
Trevarthen's out of fuel. Trevarthen's out of fuel. He'll fall back to 4th. Levitt's going to get around him for 5th.
Yeah, but the question being, as they come out of turn 4, does DJ Anderson have enough left
stuttering
in the tank? I think it's out of fuel coming out of 4. He's yelling to his spotter, it is out of fuel. He's going to come back across. He will win this race coasting. Where is Richard Murdoch? Murdoch is coasting too out of turn number 4. He is barely able to get enough fuel to the pickup tube. He swerves at the 20 of Minto, and it's going to be Minto coming home in 2nd. Murdoch's going to be credited with 3rd. Cody Levitt's going to coast across the line in the Levitt Machinery car. He is actually going to be shown in 7th. A bunch of cars going to get around him as Terrill, as Regan, as Butler all come around him to finish 4th, 5th, and 6th. Levinas 7th. Bruce Potter comes home with a stellar day in the old throwback Reynolds Rat Machine. He's going to finish in the 8th spot. Eric Johnson is 9th, and Justin Gann gonna round out the top 10 field here. But DJ Anderson still coasting around Las Vegas. Al, it came down to the fuel strategy that we thought it was gonna here tonight. A little bit in a little bit different way as we had that caution flag. But nonetheless, it still came down to drivers running out of fuel.
Yeah, amazing job by the driver of the 51, DJ Anderson, able to stretch it 32 laps on a tank of fuel. We were told 30 laps was max, so a heck of a job by them. Ran out of gas off of turn 4, but had enough of a lead to coast across the line and pick up the win and lock himself into the championship chase here just later on. Just 3 more races after tonight. Congratulations to DJ Anderson as we get ready to go to our post-race show.
Well, as we head to our post-race show here, race fans, we'll be right back at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. As you see DJ Anderson come to a complete stop here on the front straightaway. We'll be right back, see if we can get a word in with a couple of these drivers here tonight at Las Vegas. Welcome back, race fans, here to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 90 laps to go the distance, and we have an official race winner here in the desert. Needed a little help to get to victory lane, but we have caught up with the man in the Valvoline Toyota Supra. It's DJ Anderson. DJ, you played the strategy right here in Las Vegas. You rolled the dice. How does it feel to know you beat some of the best guys at their own strategy?
Oh, pretty amazing, to be honest. Second time running this paint scheme, and second time coming down to fuel, and second time running out and coming off of 4 to win. I mean, I thought I had a good car on the long run. Just things didn't fall right, qualified bad, and just couldn't really. It was really hard to pass tonight. So, when we went green, I was like, well, I'm just gonna try it. I got a win in my bank already, so might as well try anyways.
Yeah, at that point, there's nothing really to lose because you already knew you were going dancing. You went back at Michigan running the Cup car. 2 very similar tracks, people say. Yes, one's a 2 mile and one's a 1.5 miles. But talk about how difficult it is to transition from a Cup car into the Xfinity car. This car has a lot less downforce.
Yeah, the setup was all right. I just think it was really tight, especially on the long runs. I like a little bit of a loose setup. So for me, speed-wise, I probably wasn't going to be the best car out there. So my chances of winning straight-up speed probably wouldn't. I probably had a top 10 car, but this is my specialty, saving fuel. So it's nice to be able to get a second win.
Yeah, does it feel better when you go out and dominate a race or win in style as you coast across the line out of fuel?
I really wish I could do a burnout. Second win this season and still haven't been able to do a burnout. So I think it's killing me. I want to win a race and be able to do a burnout, hopefully here before the season is over.
Well, you talk about doing a burnout here. Tonight, we drove all the way from New Hampshire here into Las Vegas to run this race. We're going to drive all the way back over to the East Coast, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains, there, Bristol. How do you feel about racing at the last great Coliseum?
I feel like my short track program has gotten a lot better over the years, and I feel like I have a chance to win there. I just got to keep myself clean and stay out of trouble. I think if I can qualify good and stay up front, I might have a shot to win next week.
Well, DJ, it's coming. As here, you see the red carpet coming at you. We're going to roll this out for you. You're going to stand out and hand you the microphone. Who do you got to thank for parking the Valvoline 51 here tonight in Victory Lane?
I got to thank my teammates. We work hard on these. A lot of communication in a race. Red light. I love racing with these guys. It's a lot of fun. And, you guys for doing the broadcast. I love going back and watching it. Things are interesting to find out what's happening during the race when you don't even know what's going on sometimes. So appreciate you guys doing this week in and week out.
Well, there you heard it from the driver of the 51 out of the Need for Speed Racing group. It's the driver from Williamsburg, Virginia, DJ Anderson, going to win his second race here of the season, Al. So I mean, what more can you really talk about other than he was out of fuel for the second time and he wins his second race, but you've caught up with a guy who might be able to give us a little insight of how it feels to be a runner-up.
Well, he just grabbed the stool from the Barstool Sports pit area and sitting on it and drinking a nice cold beverage here on pit road is Brandon Minto. Started 28th tonight, finished second, but it was a heck of a battle. We saw you out there multiple times, 2 and 3 wide. How hairy and how fierce was the competition out there?
Hey, this is one of those tracks that track position is everything. And starting 28th, I blame that on, as Roger said it last week, I was drinking Miller Lite, and it might have been 2 weeks ago. I was drinking my Miller Lite, and I had a bad qualifying session because I got a little tired out of turn 4. Started in the back, ended up that first caution. I took 2 tires trying to get track position because I know that means everything here. So, and I was able to hold my own. I gained a spot or 2, and then there was another caution, and was able to hang on around 15th, and then another caution ended up coming out, which last night in our little practice race we had, I knew we could go about 28, 29 laps if you're driving hard, and you can push 30 to 31 laps if you're saving. So that caution ended up coming out right around 30 laps to green, and I decided I'm going to try the same strategy that worked last night, and turns out it ended up working tonight.
Roger's walking by, headed down to talk to third place, and he overheard your Miller Lite comment. I think he's got a question for you.
Hey, Minto, you wouldn't have hit the wall, I just gotta say. I know you were reaching down for that slippery Miller Lite can. If you would have had one of these Youth in the Booth koozies, you wouldn't have slipped and you wouldn't have hit the wall. I just had to stop and say this as I'm headed down to one of your good old buddies.
Yeah, man, I need to get one of those Youth in the Booth koozies. I have to line up about 4 or 5 beers like before each race, just so I don't have to get up in the middle of the race and lose my track position. Because my beers ended up room temperature by the end of one of these races. So if I had those Youth in the Booth koozies, they'd stay cool the whole race.
Well, Brandon, you come home second here tonight. You use a little bit of strategy. And next week, we are headed to Bristol, the last Coliseum, in the truck. It'll be the final time that the truck sees in the regular season before we go to postseason racing. What's your outlook for Bristol? You're looking forward to that? How's the short track program? And what's your outlook for next week's race?
My outlook for next week's race. Anytime I have to use my left foot to touch the brake pedal, it never really turns out too well. So that's why I loved Vegas tonight. You don't really have to use the brakes that much. I was using my left foot for the clutch to save the fuel. But yeah, Bristol, it's going to be crazy. We got a lot of fast people in this league, and a lot of we've been clean, but once it gets to Bristol, it's all hands on deck. Anything can happen. So I'm kind of nervous about next week, but I'm just happy with the second place finish.
Well, and before we let you go, anybody you got to thank for making this all possible for your second place run here tonight?
Oh yeah, first off, I got to thank my teammates at Full Throttle Racing, Richard, Tim, and Ryan. It was unfortunate Tim got taken out a little earlier in the race, but Richard ended up getting a third place finish, and then Ryan had some issues early. But I want to thank them for helping me out trying to game plan for this week. I want to thank my dad, who watches us every week, and then I got a couple friends, Chris and Mike Thomas. They've been watching, my good buddies from the Air Force, and then also I just want to thank my girlfriend for allowing me to be down here and race on our free time. And we just got a new puppy, so she's up there watching him right now and just let me come down here and enjoy our times on Monday night.
Well, thank you for your service, and that's your second place finisher. 28th the second here tonight. Brandon Minto's coming home in the number 2 spot, and Roger, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher.
Yeah, you could hear the music, so you knew it was coming. It's the Adventure in Pixels 01 here tonight out of Somerville, South Carolina. Richard, we know you're not going to spill any of your beer because we know you have some of those koozies down there. So how was your race here in the desert?
Well, first of all, I hate that it's taking this long to talk to you, but it was good. I missed the practice race last night due to helping the family member out. So third place overall was great, having only an hour of practice, and my teammates were a big part of that, giving me some pointers today from last night.
Well, the pointers played out. Did you know how far you were going to be able to stretch the fuel here in Las Vegas, or was this one of those fly by the seat of your pants kind of races?
Well, Brandon told me before the race how he did last night, getting about 30 laps saving. Unfortunately, I didn't decide to take that strategy until about 10 laps into the last run, so I really had to save there at the end, and I was putting across the start-finish, which allowed Brandon to pass me right there at the end, which I'm all right with.
Well, aren't you always putting around the track anyway?
Well, if I'm putting and I took third, then what are you saying about everybody else there, Roger?
I can't tell you what I'm saying about anybody else, but you right here, my friend. You know, we heard these other guys talk about headed it down to Bristol. Last time we were at Bristol with the Red Light Racing Scrambler series, I believe this 01 somehow magically putted around to find victory lane.
Yes, sir, it did. Unfortunately, we're in the trucks this time. I'm not a huge fan of them versus A-Class last time, the Monster Energies, but I still like Bristol. So we'll see what I can do in the trucks, and hopefully I can have the same luck I did last year.
Well, before we let you go here, Richard, tell us a little bit about the brand new sponsorship deal that you just signed with this 01 machine.
So I just signed with my buddy, Jeremy Broadwell. He's out there in Colorado Springs, and he's got a photography business going on now called Adventure in Pixels. And so if you want any pictures of your family or any kind of landscape or whatever, just hit him up on Facebook or Instagram, and he'd be more than happy to help you out. He's a really talented guy. He's retired from the Air Force over 20 years, and just a great dude.
Well, congratulations on the sponsorship, and congratulations on third place here tonight, Richard. I'll hand you the mic for just a second. I know there's a long list. There's children that are past their bedtime, though, so here you go.
Yeah, again, I'd like to thank my teammates, Tim, Brandon, and Ryan, for helping me out. We give each other pointers. My dad and brother Michael up in Chester, South Carolina, they're always tuning in. My brother here, Alan, in Somerville now tunes in and watches me. That's awesome. My Uncle Gary out in California, he's always tuning in and watching me. And then, of course, out in Colorado Springs, like I said, my good buddy Jeremy and his wife Katie, they always tune in every week and watch me. And Jeremy told me his dad just started watching too, so I appreciate him for tuning in and anybody else. And, of course, you, Roger, you and Muth in the booth for broadcasting this, buddy.
Al, he's trying to steal my mic walking away here. Give it back here, Richard.
You don't have to give that back to him, Richard.
Well, he does it better than me, so I appreciate you guys.
Well, there you have it from your third place winner. Al, he did give my mic back. He slapped me on the back of the head there and then slid his hand as he walks away. So congratulations to Richard Murdoch, Brandon Minto, and DJ Anderson for winning for the second time this season. So he's just going to pat that points lead that he already did have here with the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. Al, closing thoughts here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
I think this race over-delivered on everything that we thought it was going to have and be a little bit more than what we thought. The guys put on a great race, side-by-side action all the way through the field, and to come down to a fuel mileage race that was exciting, not knowing who and was going to make it to the end of with the fuel on there. So I just think this week, great racing. Next week, we're going to go tear up some tailgates at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the final, well, not the final, but the final short track of the regular season.
Yeah, Bristol, the last great Coliseum where gladiators battle it out, whether it be on the gridiron with football, because they got a football field on the infield there at Bristol, but these boys will be battling it out on the high concrete, high speed. You're going to see them rim riding around Bristol because that is the fast lane after about 4 to 5 laps on the tires. But that's next week. This week was the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. DJ Anderson rolled doubles as he ran out of fuel out of turn number 4, coasted back around to win his second race of the season. So tune in next Monday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch your Red Light Racing Scrambler Series presented by Turn 3 Racing Network.